He's not a human character. He's not created to have a plot line. He's not created to have growth. He's created to make you mad. What's up, bad boys? I'm really tempted to say this was a piece of shit and don't watch it, but wait till the end of the video. We got a lot to discuss. This is an unfiltered review of Rent-a-Girlfriend, the anime that came out in 2020 and has proceeded to have 3 seasons so far. So we're going to talk about the anime and decide ultimately if it is bad. And by we, I mean I and me.
It's bad. Anime. Bruh.
So here's just a quick summary just to bring us all in from the top. Kazuya is kind of a loser. He just got broken up with by this girl, Mommy, who's really weird. We'll get into that more later again. So he goes onto a site to rent a girlfriend, right, for money. And he decides to rent this girl named Chizuru, who is our other main protagonist in the entire show. Along the way, there's a bunch of other shenanigans that happen, but the main plot line here is that Kazuya loves Chizuru. Chizuru loves acting and wants to be a big actor before her grandmother passes away. Now, of course, there are some other characters sprinkled in there. We got Ruka, who is absolute best girl, and we got Mommy, who is kind of weird, but I kind of dig it. Like, the villainous streak is pretty chill. I'm really liking it. The primary characters that they love to focus on in this anime are Chizuru and Kazuya. So let's talk about Kazuya for a second before we get into the big problem around this entire anime, right? So there are a lot of people online complaining about Kazuya all the time, and I get it. He's really annoying, and he doesn't see the good that's right in front of him, aka Ruka, and people that actually like him and actually want to be with him. But he keeps chasing after this girl, Chizuru, that clearly isn't exactly interested in him and is more interested in her career and being a fully well-rounded adult, which he, for some reason, isn't interested in doing at all. The big problem with this anime is that Kazuya, as a character, does not grow, does not change, does not decide to do anything differently. He continues to do the same old thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. He tries to do something great for Chizuru, it backfires, and then he's a slobbering mess, and then he says, sorry, please forgive me, and then she eventually forgives him because reasons. At the very beginning of the show, I thought we were going to get a great character spotlight on Kazuya kind of throughout the whole show, because at first, when you see Kazuya, yes, he's kind of like a bumbling idiot. He's kind of like down on his luck, previously just out of a relationship, wants a new girlfriend, so he turns to a rental girlfriend site. And I thought at first that, wow, okay, this is a pretty interesting angle. I really think that it would have been interesting to spotlight this rental girlfriend industry in places like Japan, where it runs rampant, and places like here in America, where it's a little less popular, but still very intriguing to some. I thought that was a particularly interesting angle, that this guy, Kazuya, turns to this pseudo solution for himself. I was interested in that. I was interested in him kind of seeing that through, getting a rental girlfriend, seeing what that's like, and eventually kind of growing out of it and becoming a better person for it. I just wanted him to come to the realization that he has things to offer himself, and that to not base his value on what other people think of him, or base his own value on the relationships that he's in or the girls that he's with and can show off to his friends. The problem was, that never happened. From the first episode on, I was thinking, okay, this is part of Kazuya's journey to becoming a better person, right? He meets Chizuru. Chizuru's going to turn his life around for the better. And she doesn't at all. And it's not her job, mind you. But Kazuya, at the end of every single episode, is always grumbling to himself, oh, you don't even like me. She doesn't even like me. She's just a fake girlfriend after all. I just pay her for her time. Yeah, numbnuts, you idiot. That's exactly what she is, so stop it. Maybe I would understand a little more if we were talking about 18-year-olds characterized in this show, but we're talking about full-on blown college students. Emphasis on blown. Over 3 seasons, this guy has not matured 1 inch, and another way that comes out is through his relationship with Ruka, or kind of lack thereof, where Ruka is all about this guy, and from the very beginning, all Kazuya wanted was a girlfriend, and now this very attractive one is throwing herself at him, and he is saying, no, I love Chizuru, I don't want to be with you. But he doesn't exactly tell her that, which leads to just a bundle of lies and deception consistently, but also still leading her on for some reason, even though he shouldn't. Yeah, it makes no sense. Kazuya's motivations are just that of just somebody that keeps the plot going. And that's the only purpose of the character. He's not a human character. He's not created to have a plot line. He's not created to have growth. He's created to make you mad. He's created to make the story keep going and end on cliffhangers every episode and keep you invested. But there was a point where he stopped keeping me invested. That brings me to my second problem with this whole show, that the mangaka or creator of this series just has the hugest hard-on for Chizuru. Every episode she's framed beautifully. Everything she does is perfect. She's a great character. She just wants to do this for her grandma. The entire plot line is around her. Kazuya doesn't even get a whiff of that character development that she's got. Nobody gets a whiff of that character development that she's got. And I'm not saying that makes for a bad show, but I am saying that that makes for a problem when the rest of your characters do not get a single ounce of character development throughout the entire story. And yes, before you say anything, I do know the character development that they did on Ruka, not enough. They needed a lot more of it, and I wish that they expanded on it. Lastly, just a note about Season 3. I never watched Season 3. For Season 3, I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip to the last episode of Season 3 and see if this mother has changed at all, aka Kazuya. And upon watching the last 5 minutes of the last episode of Season 3, I realized, no, he hasn't changed at all. When I clicked on that last 5 minutes, the thought process that he was having was, oh, I mean, she's just a rental girlfriend. She could never really like me. You mean the thing that you've been saying for every episode since this show began, sir? Sir? Am I wasting my time with this show? Yes. You can introduce as many new fun waifus as you want. I will not be continuing this show. And to put a cap on this whole thing, yes, it was bad. It has entertainment value. It hooks you a little bit, but man, do you realize that there's nothing at the end of that hamster wheel after a while? Well, that's it for me, everybody. If you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out our podcast where we do longer form episodes on shows just like this. We have Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 1 and 2 out right now, actually, on our podcast. You can find that at Bad Anime on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or literally anywhere that you find your podcasts. We'll see you there. Adios, bad boys.